Today we're going to talk about the first layer of the Rebuilding Trust pyramid, and that is honesty. And this pyramid is in our book, Rebuilding Trust, either the regular one or for Christians, as well as our Rebuilding Trust course.
When it comes to rebuilding trust after betrayal, honesty is a really big deal. Not only was there betrayal from whatever action the wounding partner took that betrayed the wounded partner, but there's also the lies that accompanied that. And typically wounded partners will look at that as multiple betrayals. The reason why is because it takes away something called agency for the partner. And that's the ability for them to act in their own best interest based on knowledge that they have. Lying creates an imbalance in the relationship. And so if you know something that your partner doesn't, that's going to be a problem. Partners tend to look at it as a separate betrayal. In fact, they look at it as multiple betrayals. So you have the betrayal itself, but then you have every day that you lied and covered up about the betrayal. And I'll have partners tell me a lot of times they'll look through like family photo albums and things like that, and it creates an issue for them because they'll look at vacations and other things that were important to them, and they'll think, well, that person was lying to me there, and they were lying to me there, and they were lying to me there, and so nothing feels like it means anything to them anymore or means what they thought it meant, and that's really, really hard for them to take. So let's talk about honesty. A lot of times when we're talking about honesty, we're talking about not lying, right? And there's 3 different kinds of lies that we talk about when we talk about if a person's being honest or not. The first is outright lying, which is basically just telling an untruth. The second is lying by omission, which is leaving stuff out and only telling the parts that you think will be more palatable. And the third is character lying, which is implying that your character is such that you would never do it, acting insulted, this kind of thing, but really you never answer the question. And then there's some other kinds of things that come across as dishonest, like minimizing and defending or explaining things away. That kind of stuff also comes across as a lack of honesty.
A lot of times when guys get in our program, they stop doing what we call outright lying. So they're not hiding pornography or cheating or whatever they're doing, but we find that they almost always move to lies of omission because they don't want to get in trouble. So they're always worried about getting in trouble. So they want to minimize, like Laura said, so they can minimize what they're doing. And how do they minimize it? A lot of times they minimize it by just kind of not mentioning it. So their wife thinks that maybe they put blockers on their device. Well, I kind of did. Well, you haven't gotten the notification yet, huh? Oh yeah, I forgot that I actually didn't get a chance to do that yet. So that's a lie too, but it's a lie of omission, and we see that a lot. So a lot of times the guys that I work with are super surprised that their wives or partners are really upset because they said they were going to take out the garbage and they didn't do it. And they're like, why is she having a meltdown over there? It's because your wife doesn't trust you, period. And so if you're rebuilding trust slowly, even the little things make a big difference.
We call these areas or small areas of trust microtrust. So if you think that your follow through on behaviors that aren't related to betrayal don't matter, you should rethink that because they do. An example might be your partner asks you to do something and you've always done it with a really bad attitude. Well, if you promise them, okay, you know what, I'm going to have a better attitude when I am asked to do household chores or something like that, and then you have a bad attitude again, they're just going to consider you to be the same person that you always were, and they're not going to trust you. Honesty has to be at the foundation of every relationship, not just romantic relationships, but friendships and even business relationships. If you don't feel like you can trust the person to be honest with you, then you're not going to trust the person at all.
One of the things that we do in our program to combat that is something that we call the 24-hour tell policy. So what got most of the guys here was doing something that was sexually betraying to their partner, whether multiple times, one time, whatever. So how do you stop that? Well, hopefully you've done a disclosure. Now the truth is out. So if you do it again or you do something like it again, how is your wife or partner going to know that you actually are going to tell? So what we say is the 24-hour tell policy, which means if you do a sexually acting out behavior, that within 24 hours you're going to tell your partner.
If you want a chance of rebuilding trust with your partner after you've betrayed them, honesty has to be at the foundation. And the reason why is that when you betrayed your partner, you put your needs and your wants ahead of their well-being. And so if you lie to them, that's actually doing the same thing. It's saying, well, I don't want to get caught, or I don't want the consequences of my actions, so I'm going to put my needs in front of your need to know things about your own life. And so you're sending the exact same message, and your partner's not going to trust you if you do that.
It's time to follow through with your commitments, big and small, because it all matters. Thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, go ahead and hit the subscribe button below.
Or head over to becomingwellinstitute.com to learn more about trauma, addiction, intimacy avoidance, and other related topics, take a free assessment, or set up a consult with one of our trained professionals.
Let us help you keep your journey towards becoming well going.